There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. Inspiring words. Although there are quite a few motorists who have a completely different philosophy. If this goes on much longer, that sidewalk is going to become the new road. Well, she's certainly shown this mild-mannered driver who's boss now, hasn't she? Some blockades don't even get the chance to start. If you encounter someone who can drag you and your protesting buddy off the road by himself, then it's probably best to do what he says. Not only stopping oil, but also stopping a woman from getting her newborn baby to a hospital. Classy.
It's a real newborn baby, guys. So, you make more pollution. Someone's going to the hospital. It's illegal.
Sadly, a human chain just isn't enough to stop several tons of fuel-injected metal.
There's a car that's trying to get in. Push it out.
You may be trying to just stop oil, but you've got very little chance of stopping this guy. If he says it's a medical emergency and they don't believe him, then what choice does he have but this?
I don't believe that's the case.
Wait, Weasel!
He needs to go.
Sir!
Yeah, you said that.
Get out of the way! You're a joke!
Well, we've all made this mistake. You see a protester in an orange vest and assume they're on fire. Yep, these guys are clearly very popular with London van drivers. Well, whatever he's protesting, I think we can say it was about as successful as his chances of becoming an Olympic diver. They probably should have sat some people on the sidewalk, too. Generally speaking, truck drivers and white van drivers are probably not going to be the most sympathetic to your cause. There are times in life when you just think the phrase, "Yeah, you deserve to get squashed." And this is one of them. Yes, the environment is important, but are you willing to kill people in serious need of medical attention in order to save it? If this driver had his way, this guy won't have any children.
Why are you letting him do this?
Why
Why are you taking the stroll?
Why have you just hit him?
Because he's in the way. You don't walk in the road.
Yes, it's orange vests versus orange vests. Have you ever seen road rage from a man on a skateboard? Well, stay tuned. A truck going through a crowd of protesters like a hot knife going through butter.
Pickup truck. The driver moved slow at first. Protesters tried to block that vehicle, but it was no use. Those protesters in the vests, they're marshals, there to watch out.
Yes, there may be a climate emergency, but some people have emergencies of their own.
Yo, I'm about to get locked up for 54 years with my parole if I don't make my job. And y'all are so inconsiderate. Yo, one lane before I go to prison.
President Biden to declare a climate
Maybe they should change their name to Just Stop Water. In any demonstration, it's usually a good idea to get the public on your side. Unfortunately, they haven't quite cracked it. Wow, that's a lot of people. But on the other hand, that's a big truck. And from this point of view, I think we can see who might win. At this rate, they might as well just give up and get on the bus with everyone else. The cops might often be on the opposite side of protesters. They still recognize an idiot endangering human life. As a protester, you may often encounter angry lunatics, so it's best not to be too annoyed by the presence of the police. He lost it when they blocked his road to work. Although, given he's wearing scrubs, would you want a guy with this kind of temper providing your medical care?
You gotta go to work. Get the out the way. Get the out the way. Go!
These Just Stop Oil protesters decided to let a woman in labor through, which is lucky for them, because if there's one section of society you don't want to annoy, it's women in labor. The driver wasn't charged for this. Was he right? Was he wrong? Let us know what you think in the comments. This driver was mad, but the protesters got madder. He sums up the attitude of many motorists in a few choice words. Yeah, don't worry guys, the emergency can wait. A cyclist who's clearly on a one-man mission to pull the limbs from protesters like wings off a fly. Judging by her temperament, they're lucky she only threw the sign over the edge. Ironically, more comments were made about this woman's strength than the issues these protesters were protesting. Apparently, there's not much difference between protesting and hitchhiking. Who knew? It's the yellow vests versus the orange vests, and it looks like the results are pretty easy to predict. The thing with protests like this is that you're relying on the goodwill of human beings to stop, but truck drivers are a different breed entirely. A man who's having a very bad day, and he's determined to share it. Once again, white vans just don't live by the same moral code as the rest of us. Is there any better way to make people not want to support your cause?
Get out of the way, bro! Get out of the way, bro! Get out of the way!
A bird's eye view of a man on a mission. Here's why you should never go protesting on your own. Walking over a taxi driver's car. A terrific way to save the planet. Thank you, brave eco-warrior. These protesters are about to have their masks ripped off by a motorist who looks like he'd enjoy ripping their faces off. Well, I hope they didn't spend too much making those signs. When men in business suits go wild.
There's too many of us, mate. There's too many.
Well, that's one method, although it does look like only 2 of these protesters are getting the brunt of this. So it looks like the solution to dispersing these guys had nothing to do with cars. It was horses all along. When Burning Man attendees meet climate protesters, and then both meet the police. Yeah, once again, it's just not that effective if you do it on your own.
So, ab hinter die Leitplanke und holst die Gipfel.
He's going, and he doesn't care if he has to take her with him. They're obviously passionate about their cause, but even more passionate about not letting this driver get away. This guy looked like he had to work very hard to be in the middle of this crowd. I mean, it's not even a road, is it? This coach was carrying asylum seekers who were being deported until these people decided to make their feelings known about the situation. She's on a one-woman mission, and it's not going well.
Not resolving anything.
He plowed through the crowd and took a motorcycle with him as a souvenir. This protest was called a die-in, and this motorcyclist almost made it a bit too real. Ironically, the one car that could be moved was the van belonging to the protesters. An aggressive warning followed by some aggressive driving. Classy guy. This is genius. I mean, nobody would just drive right over our bikes, right? It started as a peaceful protest and ended as this. This time it's the protesters who are in the vehicles. What a refreshing change for us all. As protesters go, Just Stop Oil currently take the prize for least popular.
Move! Let's start moving. Let's start moving.
He was going to work and no amount of orange banners was going to stop him. And now here's someone who simply gets picked up and thrown into a bush. Not something most of us have probably experienced. In this clip, someone decides to spray ink all over the protesters. You know, like a large, angry squid. When some drivers tried to escape from this protest, it did not go down well. This happens a lot in Germany, and as you can see, people are starting to run out of patience. Shoving them with his arms didn't work, so he decided to use his van instead. Amazingly, this is the first arrest we've seen in this video. You'd think there would have been more, right? Well, if it was a hot day, then maybe they would have been glad for a cold drink. There's finding a way around a protest, and then there's purposely driving into it. They'd been carrying out protests every day, and finally, this guy just snapped. Want to save the planet? Well, why not glue yourself to a car, because that will, work? Well, I think we can take a wild guess what side this driver is on. Ah, the little-known stealing the protesters' backpack method. Sadly not as effective as he intended. They're protesting a new youth jail, which is ironic given both sides in this video are in danger of going to jail.
Come!
Looks like they didn't consider that massive, wide strip of grass. Oh well. What? You can't drive slowly through us. We're invincible. The sign had the phrase "break up" written on it in huge letters. So this driver politely obeyed.
Pushing through the rally, one of the protesters riding on the car's hood for a good 30 seconds before falling.
And to finish, a protest encountered from the driver's point of view. It's like you're right there.
Oh my God!
Do the Akimbo team really need to march around carrying placards saying, "Subscribe to our channel"? No, that's ridiculous. Make life easier for us by subscribing right now instead.